What's going on, people? Myke C-Town here with another Dead in Hip Hop solo album review, and today I'm talking about the newest album from Elucid entitled I Told Bessie. Before I get into the video, here's my typical spiel of how sorry I am that I haven't done a video in a while. I think it's been like 3 weeks or something like that. I apologize. Life shit, you know how it goes. But it's totally first world problem, so I'm not even gonna get into it. But if you are a Patreon supporter of mine, thank you, I love you. I just gave you guys a completely exclusive video about Reva and Star Wars and racism, so if you're bored, go check that out on Patreon. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into it, y'all. I am. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this album. Yeah, Elucid. He's been around for quite some time, got more popular after becoming one half of Arm & Hammer alongside Billy Woods. But I've always said Elucid is an absolute monster on his own, and I really think he needs a lot more praise and attention. So it starts today, god damn it. Yeah, I Told Bessie is the newest album from Elucid, and it starts off with the song Spelling. And I love the way the song kicks off with these brilliant words from Joy James. Joy James is an academic as well as a political philosopher, but she says, like, what's the exit plan? Like, you're not gonna leave your community behind, and you're not gonna stop helping and nurturing and healing. But every time we stabilize, they build upon that stability and enforce another form of theft. They've made this star unsafe. Wow, so this is talking about the importance of building community here, but outlining the frustration of the feeling that anytime your community makes any strides, you're just gonna be kicked back. But it's specifically outlining the feeling that whenever you come up with any sort of tangible means of building equity, it's gonna be stolen from you. You know, it's such a mindfuck being told to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and then whenever you do, you just get your products and ideas stolen by the very people who are telling you to build yourself up. But back to the song, this beautiful kind of lo-fi beat from Child Actor works really well with Elucid's voice. You know, the jazzy horns, the kind of swelling sounds floating through the instrumental. I love it. And Elucid sounds great here. And I really like what he's doing with his voice. You know, he's using different tonal approaches throughout his verse. And I just love this hook. Just got to heaven and I can't sit down. And I really like this whole idea of spelling, you know, or casting spells. It's such an interesting idea, you know, rappers or poets or just artists in general kind of casting spells over you with their art. You know, casting a spell on someone is basically just using something to compel them to be overly fascinated or interested in you. And, you know, isn't that really what artists do? Old Magic is another really good one, man. It has this really nice beat that sounds like a couple of different samples chopped up and mixed together, including these different vocal samples that sound just gorgeous mixed together, man. It's really ethereal. And, you know, I never pretend to be smart enough to break down Elucid's lyrics, but this one seems to be about the plight of black men just trying to get through, just trying to get by. And I really love these lines. 5K to put a body in the earth, 20 bucks to wear your face on a shirt. Washed them in the surf, burning pyres, crossed the gold, the purifying fires. The idea of how money relates to death as far as preserving people and the ideas of people, you know, preserving people in the ground or preserving them on a shirt. Themes of baptism, baptism in water, baptism by fire, you know, rebirth, reconciliation, trauma. Like, there's so much going on in this song. Sardonyx is one of the songs that I was really looking forward to hearing when I saw the track list, as it features Billy Woods, Quelle Chris, and Pink Sifu, and it did not disappoint. It's a really dark beat with these almost sexy horns going. You know, it almost feels like you're in a cop noir film when you're listening to it, but every single person showed up to rap here, but especially Pink Sifu, who I'm still waiting for more people to get put onto. Like, he's super dope, and I don't think enough people talk about him. But he says, Niggas don't know the last hook but want that new shit. They killing skeletons, my doors open they self, dead or alive. I mean, I think I sort of get what he's getting at. You know, I think it's a reference to skeletons in the closet and how Pink Sifu doesn't have to worry about that because his closet doors open themselves. You know, he's got no secrets, or he's not necessarily worried about these secrets getting out. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But that's what I got from it. If you got something different, drop some comments down there. But Elucid and Woods, as always, they have amazing chemistry. But I love how Quelle Chris closed the track out. Like, this dude, this fool said, on a bitch neck like beady bead. That's a clear reference to Martin for all you kids born in the 2000s. Beady bead is what Martin called Pam when he's clowning the naps in the back of her neck. So that line just made me happy. Smile lines. Whew, Smile Lines is mean. It's produced by August Fannin. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right because I've never heard it said out loud. But he's done stuff with Arm & Hammer. He's done stuff with Fly Anakin, Makami, and others. But the beat he did here is so good, man. The incorporation of rock guitars and kind of hip-hop beats can go in so many bad directions that makes it just super easy to fuck up. But Fannin lays it down beautifully here. And god damn it, man. I feel like even if you don't like this song, or even if you don't like the way Elucid raps, I feel like you could read the lyrics to this song as just a piece of incredible poetry. There's information and information only. The difference between loneliness and being lonely with emphasis. The spirits say, every hole speak when the mirrors play. And I also really love this line. Ticker tape like the blues is called between 1st and 15th. The 1st and 15th being the days that the government issues checks to the poor or unfortunate, and trying to survive between those two pay dates can be extremely hard for people. Like Vast Air says, 24 hours is a really, really long time when you're poor. You know, when you're hungry and your kids are hungry, a day feels like a week. But I think that's sort of the idea that Elucid is getting at here. Nostrand featuring Billy Woods is another dope one. This one's produced by the almighty Alchemist, and it's really dark and creepy with these amazing bass lines and this piano that's kind of dropped in there sparingly. Like, it really sounds like a horror movie soundtrack. It's so good. And you know, these two MCs show exactly why they are considered two of the best lyricists in hip-hop right now. They both paint these amazingly vivid pictures. Woods seems to be talking about being in a home with his parents, or maybe a parent and a step-parent, and their dysfunctional relationship. You know, and the man in the home appears to be abusive, and Woods talks about a time where instead of getting beat, he fights back. You know, something that everyone who's lived in an abusive household wishes they could do, something we've all fantasized about. But I love the way he starts the verse. A story you heard turned to something you've done. Creature jerked awake, air in its lungs. That first lie is the one. Its daughters and sons run barefoot through the house. Pink gums, tiny sharp teeth. Every lie was young once. And Elucid's verse here is just amazing, and it seems to be on the same topic, and just like Woods, I love the way he starts his verse. Blood in, blood out, are we not men? What haunts your mouth? The spread is thin, no way to talk it out. You've been spread too thin, your patience is gone, there's no more talking, and you can do nothing but react. And sometimes you react in a way that's not universally beneficial, but it's the only way that makes sense in that moment. Split Tongues is also amazing. This dark jazzy beat that feels so mysterious. Like you feel like you're in a dark club with a band playing these sounds, you know, that sultry bass. And it all goes so well with Elucid's delivery that feels very beatnik to me. Before word was formed in the beginning, vibrating between flesh and teeth, air escapes, calling your name when least expected, stirring spirit, chaos directed, no strays, no mistakes, possession, possession. And Kenny Beats killed that beat on Jumanji. Holy shit, it's so good, man. That ride gives the beat such a cool feel, and I love how the MCs approach this song. You know, since the instrumental is a bit more upbeat, there's a slightly different flair to Elucid's flow, and I really like that. And I also like how it mellows out a bit at the end while Woods closes it out. It's such a good song. So yeah, now some of Elucid's lyrics go so far over my head, and then some of them have references that I think I get, but I'm not entirely sure about the context. Like on Betamax, where he says, "Puffin' flower petals, I'm the blackest metal, this a dead church." I mean, being a fan of black metal, I could assume that he's making a reference to that, especially with the dead church part. You know, black metal, at least in the beginning, and on average really, being very anti-Christian. Dead also being one of the more popular singers of Mayhem, but I also kind of doubt he'd go there, so I'm not sure, because he also mentioned the phrase dead church in Smile Lines when he says, "Like real voice from cold earth, maggot brain, dead church." Maggot Brain, of course, refers to the P-Funk album, but I'm not entirely clear on what his reference to the dead church is. It could be a reference to Sardis, which is one of the 7 churches in Revelations. It was a church that was referred to as spiritually dead on the inside. You know, it appeared holy on the outside, but Jesus knew the hearts and the will of the people on the inside. So it could be this whole idea of a lot of people today appearing holy from the outside, but inside being spiritually dead. The body is described as a temple or a church in the Bible as well, so it could be a massive play on words and ideas. Or like on Sardonyx when he says, "Blowing kisses at my ops in the metaverse, gorilla biscuits till my head'll burst." Of course, my mind immediately says he's talking about one of my favorite hardcore bands, Gorilla Biscuits. But is that really what he's referring to? I don't know. And do I even really want to know? Because a big part of what I love so much about Elucid is, I don't know, man, his albums are they're like Robert Delaunay paintings. You know, you consume and you absorb them as much as possible, trying to figure out the meaning behind them. But part of the enjoyment is coming up with your own meanings. And that's the beauty of artists like Elucid, man. It's less about the explicit meaning of every single word and more about the feeling you get from listening to it as a whole. You know, you don't break apart a Pollock piece into individual elements and talk about them separately. You're not like, oh, this green splash means, you know, political unfairness, and this fucking yellow strike here means whatever. You don't do that. You kind of take the whole thing for what it is and you assess how the overall experience makes you feel. You know, Elucid albums, they're kind of like David Lynch films. You know the ear that Jeffrey finds in Blue Velvet is important, but you'll drive yourself absolutely fucking batty by focusing on that one element instead of trying to take the entire film in as an artistic experience and then analyzing your feelings after that experience. You know, that's how I feel about an Elucid project. But even outside of the words, man, it's just fascinating to hear how this dude composes a song. You know, the pockets that he finds to rap in. Like listen to Bunny Chow. Listen to the beat without Elucid and you can kind of hear what a more basic rapper might do over that beat. But then pay attention to what Elucid actually does. Like, it's weird, the area that he finds to rap in. It's wild, but yeah, man, I feel like he's really something special on a whole different type of level with rap, and I just love it. I love it. But yeah, this album is great. Definitely one of the better projects I've heard this year. If you've not checked it out, I'll drop a link down there for the Bandcamp. Go listen to it, then go buy it. If you have already checked it out, let me know what you guys think of the album down there in the description section. But yeah, that's it. As usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out.